Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. Imagine losing the use of your legs. Imagine being told your public life is over. What would you do next? Some men would quit. Some men would hide. But one man did not. He became one of the most powerful leaders in history. He led a nation through fear. He led it through war. And he never stood on his own two legs again. My friends, today we tell the story of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Before we begin, if you love stories like this, hit that subscribe button now. It helps this channel grow. Now, let us begin. Franklin was born in 1882 in New York, into a wealthy and respected family. He grew up in comfort and privilege, with servants who served him and tutors who taught him. Life was gentle to young Franklin. He studied at Harvard, then studied law, and married a woman named Eleanor, who would become his partner in everything. Power came early to Franklin. He entered politics young and rose fast, serving in the New York Senate and the Navy Department. He was ambitious, confident, and seemed destined for greatness. But my friends, life does not care about our plans. In 1921, everything changed. Franklin fell ill, and doctors gave him a diagnosis, polio. His legs went numb and still. He was 39 years old, and the golden path he walked stopped cold. Many thought his career was finished, that he would fade away. He could not walk, could not stand without help. But something in Franklin refused to break. He did not know it yet, but this fall would become his foundation. Franklin fought back, hard and in silence. For years he worked on his body and his mind, trying therapies and exercises, refusing to accept defeat. Picture this, my friends, Warm Springs, Georgia, a quiet pool of mineral water. Franklin floats there alone, his legs useless beneath him, but his arms pull him forward, lap after lap. Sweat mixes with the warm water. His jaw is set, his eyes fixed ahead. No cameras, no crowds, just one man refusing to quit. He never walked freely again, but he learned to stand with braces, to move with canes, and to hide his pain behind a smile. Then, in 1932, a new crisis struck, not his own this time, but his nation's. America was breaking under the Great Depression. Banks were closing, jobs were vanishing, families were starving, and fear was everywhere. The people needed strength and hope, and Franklin, the man who could barely stand, stepped forward to lead them. He ran for president and won, taking office in 1933. His first task was enormous: calm a terrified nation and rebuild broken trust. He spoke to the people directly over the radio, in what he called fireside chats. His voice was calm and steady, and millions gathered around their radios just to listen. He launched bold programs under the New Deal, creating jobs, rebuilding banks, and giving people work again. Power was returning, power was shifting, but storms were gathering far beyond America's shores. In Europe, a darker force was rising. In Asia, war drums were beating. The world was sliding toward chaos. Franklin watched closely and worried deeply, knowing what was coming. He did not know it yet, but the hardest test of his life was still ahead. On December 7, 1941, the attack came. Pearl Harbor. Japanese planes filled the sky, bombs fell fast, ships burned, and sailors died. America was stunned. The next day, Franklin stood before Congress. His legs trembled beneath steel braces, but his voice did not. He called it a date which will live in infamy, and asked for war. Congress agreed. America was now in the fight, and the world's fate hung in the balance. Franklin became a wartime leader, working without rest, meeting with Churchill and Stalin, building alliances across oceans. Millions of soldiers went to fight, millions of families waited at home, and the pressure was crushing. Factories roared day and night, and women stepped into new roles as the whole nation transformed for war. Franklin pushed forward and held firm, but the war dragged on, casualties climbed, and doubt crept in. Could democracy survive this storm? Could one man carry this weight? Franklin ran for president a third time, then a fourth. No president had ever done this before, but the nation needed continuity and his steady hand. By 1945, victory was close. Germany was crumbling, and hope was rising again. But Franklin was fading. Years of hidden pain had worn him down, and his body, long broken, was finally giving out. In April 1945, at Warm Springs, the very place where he once fought to walk again, Franklin collapsed. A massive stroke took him suddenly. He never saw the war's end, never saw the peace he fought for. The news spread fast, and the nation wept. Strangers cried in the streets, and soldiers overseas fell silent. The man who carried a nation through its darkest storm was gone. Franklin's death shocked the world, but his work was not undone. Just weeks later, Germany surrendered. Months later, Japan followed. The war he led America through finally ended. Franklin never saw that final victory, but he built the path that led there. My friends, think about what this man overcame. He lost his legs and never got them back. Doctors told him his career was finished, and the world told him to step aside. He did not listen. He turned pain into purpose, struggle into strength, and fear into leadership. Franklin Roosevelt led through the worst economic collapse in American history and through the deadliest war the world had ever seen, all from a wheelchair, hidden from public view but never hidden from purpose. His legacy still shapes the world today. Social security exists because of him. Modern banking regulations exist because of him. The United Nations took root from his vision. But maybe his greatest legacy is simpler than policy. It is this. Strength is not about your legs, strength is not about your body, strength is about your will. Franklin could have quit in 1921. Nobody would have blamed him. Instead, he chose to fight, to rise, to lead. My friends, what storm are you facing right now? What diagnosis, what setback, what failure feels like the end? It is not the end. It is only the beginning, if you choose to rise like Franklin did. If this story moved you, give it a like. It truly helps this channel grow. Subscribe if you have not already, so you never miss a story like this. And tell me in the comments, whose story should we tell next? Until next time, my friends, keep learning from history. And keep rising, no matter what falls.